Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 9th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery here, and you can see the monsoon moisture spreading all the way across Oregon, encompassing Washington, now starting its way into British Columbia. You can see the lightning strikes along the Oregon Cascades. It's going to continue during the day today. There is a marginal risk for a severe storm, mainly a wind threat across the Oregon Cascades. You can see there's thunderstorms firing along the northwest Oregon into the Washington coastline here this morning. We had some thunderstorms across the Cascades and west slopes of the Cascades this morning as well. So enjoy that. If you're out on the coastline there, you might be hearing some rumbles of thunder depending on where exactly you are. So checking this out today, day one fire weather outlook, isolated dry thunderstorms, mainly Oregon Cascades, eastern Oregon, portions of eastern Washington as well. Tomorrow they put an elevated fire risk out for the east slopes, the Cascades in Oregon, isolated dry thunderstorms, mainly the Idaho Panhandle. Going through yesterday on SeaTac, 91 degrees here, August 8th. You can see the average high is 79. We're definitely going to cool down from that today. We've got pretty good cloud cover going on right now. So that'll depend on just how much we break out today. We might hit 80 though still today with this monsoon moisture. You can see some blue sky out there, out and about. Portland yesterday cooled down quite a bit, 88, still above average. You're going to remain, probably near average, maybe a little above today as we go through the day today. There's some low clouds through the Willamette Valley there. We can see those in the visible satellite imagery. Here's the day one convective outlook. You can see it extends basically Seattle south today. Wouldn't be surprised to see a thunderstorm develop up through the northern Cascades though as well in portions of eastern Washington. You could already see those going along the Washington coast, and there's going to be a lot of lightning over the Oregon Cascades today. And you can see that marginal risk, and that is a wind threat. They actually introduced a hail threat to it there as well. Now you can see for tomorrow that this includes the entire Pacific Northwest here, this thunderstorm threat, including Seattle, Portland, Spokane, Pendleton, Vancouver, BC would be included in this, and all of eastern British Columbia, Vancouver Island as well. The models are disagreeing on just how much convection there's going to be, but again, like we've talked about before, sometimes they don't pick up this monsoon moisture that well up until the day of, and sometimes not even then. This is for day three. Here you can see this threat pushes east, eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, Idaho, Montana, eastern British Columbia. Now this is looking at integrated vapor transport here. If we put this into motion, this is now looking at about noontime today. You can see the moisture streaming up into the region here. You can kind of see it get that southeast tilt across the area here. And this is going to be our greatest chance for Seattle and Portland to see a thunderstorm at this point, early Wednesday morning. And you can kind of see it continue on through Wednesday afternoon, but it kind of ends from south to north across the areas. You can see the upper level low here just continue to spin off the shoreline here. It's probably going to keep some convection going, mainly eastern portions here, but the Cascades could still see lightning out of this as well in the higher terrain of British Columbia also. This is looking at the 4-kilometer radar reflectivity forecast here. This was this morning here, and you saw the thunderstorms we had, so you can kind of see this model showing just that little activity here actually popped up some thunderstorms. So maybe as this stuff moves north during the day today, this will include some of the North Cascades, some of the Cascades of Washington. But you can see as we go into the overnight hours of Tuesday, some of the Oregon coast looks like it's highlighted, as well as the Southwest Washington coast again. And then you'll see some of this activity move up towards Portland and Seattle here. And it just depends on how close this gets. It's probably going to be some decent lightning, amount of lightning strikes here for the Olympic Peninsula. You see some of this activity moving up through eastern Washington, Oregon, across the North Cascades as well. So a lot of times the models don't do well with this activity, but it does show this wave moving up Wednesday morning here. That's probably going to be the best chance for places like Portland north through Seattle, and then a little bit later up through Bellingham and Southwest BC during the day Wednesday. As far as thunderstorm chances go, here's the European. It actually backed off a little bit for the Puget Sound here. It looks like you can see through this morning, it did pick up some of that activity in the Washington Cascades, but it didn't pick up the stuff on the Washington coast. So you can kind of see how it's not, these models don't always handle these scenarios that well, but you can see plenty of lightning going on through the Oregon Cascades today. Maybe even later on tonight, you can see a thunderstorm getting close to the Puget Sound here. As we go on through Wednesday morning, you'll see everything take on that southeast tilt. The southeast flow across the areas, the upper level is here and spins this moisture out over the region, giving us our shot of monsoon moisture. And you can see it kind of favors mainly Tacoma westward, Olympic Peninsula, Washington, Oregon coast, up through Vancouver Island here as we go through the day Wednesday. Then you can see some of that activity move up towards British Columbia, and you can see this going on for the North Cascades, eastern Washington. This one's kind of targeting North Puget Sound, Bellingham, Vancouver, move up the Strait of Georgia here. So Again, this is going to be probably changing up until tomorrow morning, so we'll continue to monitor this, and I'll probably put out an update a little bit later on. This is the HER 3KM. Kind of picked up those showers moving up the Washington coast. And remember, these are thunderstorms here, and you can kind of see they don't look very threatening on the HER 3KM composite reflectivity. It's just kind of showing what the Doppler radar would look like. You can see a lot of lightning activity through the day today. This is why I wouldn't be surprised to see some thunderstorms through the North Cascades, Okanagan area here, and as well as eastern British Columbia. You can see some of these showers here this afternoon are pretty strong here through the eastern Oregon, the Oregon Cascades as we go. There is a wind and a hail threat with these storms as well. And this expands northward overnight tonight into eastern Washington. Then you kind of see this next wave move up the Oregon coastline here, and these would be thunderstorms as well. And this will expand across the Olympic Peninsula. How far towards Portland, Seattle, and BC will these go through early Wednesday morning before this wave kicks across the region? We still don't know the exact coverage of these storms at this time, but there is a chance of a thunderstorm pretty much for everywhere in the Pacific Northwest coming up here through tomorrow. This is the HER, just trying to pinpoint some temperatures for today. You see it kind of warms up. Portland, not bad today, up into the mid-80s. Seattle to the lower 80s as well. Very warm again for eastern Washington, Oregon in the valleys. And you can see a warm day up there through the Fraser River Valley up here through British Columbia, it looks like on the HER. Then it starts to cool down overnight as usual. And this is looking at the NAM 3KM now, and take a look at this. So this was this morning picking up. It had those thunderstorms here, but it didn't look too threatening. So you can kind of see that we got to be careful when we're watching this precipitation. Just because you're not seeing these oranges and reds embedded in here doesn't mean these can't be thunderstorms. So as we go through the day today, you can see these strong thunderstorms moving across North Cascades of Oregon and through eastern Oregon here, and you can see some of these stronger thunderstorms, and this could potentially move up into the Cascades tonight. Then you can kind of see the southeast flow start to come across the region here and kind of highlight maybe Portland west out towards the Olympic Peninsula on the NAM 3KM there as well. And some of these might be thunderstorms here down towards Tacoma, Shelton, Olympia, and the Olympic Mountains here as well. And then you can see on in through Wednesday afternoon, the North Cascades, maybe North Puget Sound starts to get in on that action too. Southern BC, see some strong storms moving through eastern Oregon, eastern Washington. So really no place is safe from the thunderstorm threat here. And we'll continue to monitor this as we go. Tri-Cities, another warm day today. Hopefully some of these clouds can chop down some of these temperatures today and tomorrow and maybe keep them out of the hundreds. We'll see how that goes. This is Seattle, Tacoma. I don't know if we're going to get to 83 today. It might be close. I'm thinking more towards the 80-degree mark before we're under a thicker cloud cover tomorrow, and we should cool down quite a bit, probably into the low to mid-70s for Seattle. So we warm back up again as we go through Thursday into the weekend here. Portland, you can see the temperatures calling upper 80s. Is that cloud cover going to get out of there enough to warm up that much? We'll see. But probably mid-80s is a good bet for Portland before a little bit cooler on Wednesday, then a little bit of a bounce back as we go through Thursday and Friday. So now looking at the extended here, I know a couple days ago I made the mistake of saying it doesn't look like any heat waves are in our future, but you know, when I say that, I should remember just how fickle some of these troughs can be, because check out what the models are now showing. This is the GFS 12Z. You can see the upper level low bringing us our thunderstorm threat through today and tomorrow. Finally kicks out there, and you notice this trough kind of digs down over the Gulf of Alaska here, and what it does is not move much. As you can see, the southwest high really builds a strong ridge up towards the Pacific Northwest. This would give us a significant heat wave if this were to verify here. This is the brand new GFS hot off the presses here. This is hour 228. Let's update this and get the most recent information here. So we're on hour 228, speed ahead there. And you can see this ridge hang out for a bit. And it depends on just how close this trough can get to cool us down here after that. Now we're still far off in the extended here. I mean, we're 9 days out at this point here. But the ridge starts to show its face. Let's see. Actually, I'm going the wrong way here. So let's go towards, you can see the ridge really building about 207 hours. This is next week. You're talking about next Wednesday here still. So you're 8 days out. So we got to be careful with this too. This could easily not verify, and it could change in an upcoming run here on both models. But we're going to look at the European here in a moment, see if there's some similarities. This is the European control ensemble run here. This is yesterday afternoon. There goes that upper level low. There's our thunderstorm threat today and tomorrow that we talked about in depth now. And then you can see the ridge start to build as this trough digs out over the Gulf of Alaska, amplifies this ridge, a very strong ridge here. And this would be going on in through, the ridge starts to build next Monday afternoon. So you can kind of see that there's agreement here between the GFS and the European here in this ridge in our extended. This would bring another heat wave, at least for a few days, across the region here before maybe a trough kicks through in the extended and cools us down. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here, but just trying to show you that there is a potential for heat waves still at this time of year. We can get 90-degree days in towards mid and late September even, but the models do agree that there will be another heat wave on our doorstep coming up here, but we'll continue to watch that. You saw how it flip-flopped just a couple days ago. So anyway, yeah, you can see this monsoon moisture. You can see it actually starting to clear out here for the Willamette Valley. So these low clouds are going to burn off with that stronger sunshine. I don't know how much of these are going to drift off over the Willamette Valley today, but probably keeping you in the mid 80s is a safe bet. You can see the cloud cover over Seattle. We will get some clearing later on. You'll get some high clouds and peaks of sun as we go through the day. So probably up towards 80 for Seattle. You can see eastern Washington clearing out here. And BC, you probably see these clouds approaching from the south. You probably see some altocumulus associated with that. And that's, the sign of that monsoon moisture coming up into your region. And, we got these thunderstorms along the Washington coast. There's going to be lots of lightning across the Oregon Cascades today. You can see the upper level low just spinning out here. And you can visualize that monsoon moisture feed all the way from the desert southwest, coming all the way up across Nevada, all the way through Oregon. And now it is here in Washington, spawning some thunderstorms. And this will continue to engulf British Columbia here over the next day and on in through tomorrow and then Thursday, as this low just kind of comes up here and sits off our coastline for a while. So the exact timing of when this is going to eject through is still under debate, is still up for debate here. But anyway, yeah, if you like thunderstorms, we do have the chance tomorrow morning, best chance for Portland and Seattle. And then as we go later through the day, towards noon and early afternoon, that threat starts to move more northward through the Puget Sound into southern BC here. So if you like thunderstorms, this is our best chance in several months now at least. So enjoy that monsoon moisture while we can, and we'll continue to watch that extended forecast here. The potential for another heat wave does exist for next week. We'll continue to monitor that. So I'll put out a update later. I'll use some graphics and explain things here, and we will go ahead and talk again tomorrow. Have a good day.